So Daniel, now we've gotten. Let's take a look at our other layer here. We've kind of picking up where we left off. We have our gun. We have something emitting monkey heads. We have the gun shooting coconuts, and now we need something to happen when the coconut hits the monkey head.
Right.
Okay, so what do we do next?
Okay, we go to our monkey and coconut layer. We're going to select the coconut, and we're going to add a property. It's going to call this bullet.
Okay.
We're going to select the monkey head. I'm just going to shrink these another way. We're going to add a near sensor.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it's hit.
Okay.
In the property field, we're going to type the bullet.
Okay. The bullet property.
Add a controller. Add an actuator. Connect them all up. And
So, okay, go ahead.
we're going to add an edit object. But in this case, we're going to say end object.
Okay.
So we're just going to say end.
End. Okay. So the property, you put a property on the coconut called bullet.
Right?
Okay. All right. And then you went to the monkey head and you gave it a near sensor with the property bullet, which is basically telling it that the coconut is near it.
Right.
Okay. And now the distance again is 1 unit. So it's going to be like 2 units.
Right.
So we probably need
Definitely
a lower distance, don't we?
Let's just test out right here.
Okay.
0.25.
0.25. So that means the cumulative distance of the center of the coconut from the center of the monkey head will be half a blender unit.
Right. So I'm just going to hit the actor. So
Okay.
basically that'll include these objects in the near sensor.
Okay, and that's an important step. If it doesn't work, and I might go back and check and see if
Right.
you've pressed the actor button.
Okay. So we'll press P and test it out. And it's not working. Let me test.
Okay, so it's not working, and this is typical, and stuff like this happens. So it looks like the emitter is not in line with our bullets, is it?
Right. So
All right.
we're going to want to move this over here. Another thing, we could just press P and make sure our, there we go.
Okay.
So everything's in line.
All right, so in this case, nothing was wrong with our logic, but the placement of our emitters didn't line up close enough for the coconut to hit the monkey.
Right. So there we go. And looks like it's pretty.
Pretty sensitive at that distance, isn't it? Is it too sensitive, you think?
Yes, that's pretty.
Okay. At least for level 1, huh?
Right. So we're gonna just move this up to 0.5. Just
Yeah, so if you hit the ear even or part of the side of the face, you still get it, don't you?
yes.
Okay. So to make this game easier, you could increase that value, make it harder, or decrease that value.
Okay. Another.
So it depends on who you want your game for, right? But I mean, you don't want it to be too easy, unless you're making
Right.
it. If you're making it for 2-year-olds, you probably want it to be very easy.
So that's definitely something to consider when you're making the game, is who you're wanting to target. Alright, so one thing that you'll notice is basically I can hit the space bar as fast as possible and it's going to fire a constant stream of bullets, which in some cases might be good. But as you can see, all I have to do is just sit here and press the space bar and I'll definitely win the game.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're going to change that so that you can only fire within a certain interval.
Okay, and so you have the empty that emits the coconut selected right now. Okay.
We're going to add a property. We're going to name this timer.
Okay.
we're going to set it to a timer property.
Oh, and there's a
basically-
built-in timer property. Okay.
So basically, I'm going to press the D right here and show debug properties, and press P, and we're going to
Okay.
see.
Let's go back,
how this
slow down and do that again because I think that happened pretty quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to press the D. Okay, and then you're going to show debug properties up there under the
Right
game menu. Okay, and in order to show a property, then you need to have that D pressed for
Right.
it to show it. Okay.
So if we start the game, you'll see the up at the upper left.
Yeah. So what is that? It's the timer is telling us what? It's just counting in
Right.
seconds or what?
Counting in seconds.
Okay.
And so that's just how the timer works. It starts at 0 and just goes up.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to change this controller to expression controller,
Okay.
and we're going to do fire and timer is greater than 0.4. Okay, so what
Okay.
this does is an expression allows you to have your own custom controller. And to find how this works, the fire is corresponding to the name of this keyboard sensor. So,
Okay, so fire's the name of that sensor. Okay.
and the timer corresponds to our timer variable.
Okay. So,
So-
if you'd called or under the property, if you called that something else like Bob, it'd be fire plus
Right.
Bob.
Then we'd have to
Yeah. Well, probably that's timer's a better
Timer's-
name, but that would have to match. Okay.
Right. Okay, so basically what this is saying is for this controller to activate our add object actuator to fire the coconut, it's going to have sensor is going to have to fire a positive pulse, and the timer variable is supposed to be greater than 0.4.
Okay, is that in seconds or
That
in,
is yes, 0.4 seconds.
or is that in that frequency thing? It's 0.4 seconds. Okay.
So also what we're going to do is we're going to add a property actuator.
Okay.
We're going to name this reset timer, and we're going to assign the timer property a value of 0,
Okay.
and we're going to connect that to our controller.
Oh, so I get it. So it will now only allow, well, like the 0.4 second will have to go by before it allows you to shoot again.
Right. And then once you have shot, it resets the timer and resets everything else. Because if you
Okay.
don't assign it back to 0, it's just going to keep on going up, and once it goes past 0.4, it's always going to be past 0.4.
Okay.
So,
So,
here let me just delete this so we can see how this works.
okay.
I'm going to set this up to value of 2, so we
Okay.
can just see how this works. Alright, so press P. I'm pressing the space bar, nothing's happening. Once it reaches past 2, now it's letting me pass
Oh, now
shoot
that it's
constantly.
greater than 2 seconds, you can just fire at will.
Right.
Okay.
So what we have to do is we have to connect our reset timer, which sets it back to 0.
Okay. So you hit P again to start the game.
So
Alright.
after it reaches 2, I have to actually continually wait 2
So
seconds.
you're pressing the spacebar, but it's even if you press it, it's not going to happen unless 2 seconds have passed.
Right.
All right. Well, obviously that would be really slow. So you're thinking 0.4 seconds is a good time. And did you just experiment to come up with that, or did you just know that's a good number?
Just experiment. Just input a value. If it doesn't work, you can always change it.
Okay. And then each time you hit the spacebar and it fires, it then also resets it back to 0, which then 0.4 seconds will have to pass
Right.
before the spacebar works again. Okay.
Alright, so as you can see, some of them are still getting away. So that just adds a little bit. You have to be a little bit more careful, maybe move around and aim better.
Okay, cool. Cool.